Should probably do a test first. Okay, that's the live one. Okay, test. Test 1, 2, 3. Anything but that. Okay, it's not. Doesn't seem to be. Get live, you nerd. Okay, that's the live one. Okay, so there's just a delay. Okay, I can't hear myself though. All right, test. Hi. Test 1, 2, 3. Anything but that. So forgive the voice for today. I'm just getting over a cold. Get live, you nerd. But since it's not quite well enough to do actual audiobook work, I figured I would stream writing a short story. Mostly because I'm very easily distracted, and I'm hoping that. Okay, so there's just a delay. Well, okay, I can't hear myself. Potential highs will keep me honest. And also, I feel like it's just kind of a fun thing. It could be fun to do moving forward when I actually have people watching, you know? Make their name, since it's not put their name into the story, you know, get some input, ignore it because it's my friggin' show. You know, I think it'd be fun. Mostly because, so, I'm very easily distracted. For most of them, what I'll end up doing is just kind of doing stream of conscious kind of thing. What I've been doing for my last few stories is I'll just make stuff up and kind of make it up as I go along, and then I get a few pages in and I kind of reevaluate and I go, all right, where can this go? How can I make this like a good story? So that's what I'll do for most of them. For this one, I actually kind of had an idea of something to do last night. I think it'd be fun. And oh God, I'm gonna try not to sniff into the microphone. For most of them, what I'll end up doing is just kind of doing. Yeah, so I had this idea last night, and I just kind of thing. Try it out. So I have like the main structure, but I don't know what the story's going to necessarily be about, or any of the additional stories I shall reevaluate moving forward. So to start, I have no idea where I'm going to go. So that's what I'll do for most of them. For this one, I actually kind of have an idea. Well, it'd be first person or third person. Let's do third person. I've been sticking with third person. God, I'm going to try not to sniff into the microphone. Most of my audiobooks are first person, which I like. Yeah, so I had this idea last night. Let's do third person. Try it out. So I have like the main structure, but I don't know what the I've been starting with this. This is the story of a man named Henry. So to start, I have no idea where I'm going to go. So that's what I'll do for most of them. For this one, I actually kind of Henry would be first person or third person. Lived in a house on a street. Most of my audiobooks are first person, which I like. In a town, in a province, in a country. Starting with this. This is the story. In that country was called Canada, and that province was called Ontario, and that town was called. Lived in a house on a street. Most of my audiobooks are first person. In a town, in a. Do I do a real one or a made up one? Province. In a country. Let's go a real one. Grimsby, Canada. And that street, I'm going to make up a street, was called Ontario. And that town was called, I don't know. Lived in a house on a street. Clanter Street. And that house didn't have a name. Do a real one or a made up? Because people don't name their houses. Let's go a real one. Grimsby. But Henry had a name. And that street, I'm going to make up, it was Henry. Was called I've found with a lot of my stories, they start off really goofy like this, and then they like just completely run out of goofiness by the end. Clanter Street. I'm not sure if that's something that'll stick around. I'm still kind of trying to discover a style. I haven't done a ton of fiction writing, so I'm not sure I'm probably gonna change a lot in the coming months.
But Henry had a name.
Excuse me.
And that street, I'm gonna make up
it was
street,
Henry.
was called.
I've found with a lot of my stories, they start off really goofy like this, and then they like just completely run out of goofiness by the end. Okay.
Planter Street.
Oh
I'm
man.
not sure if that's.
Oh, it feels so different.
That'll stick around. I'm still
Alright.
kind of trying to discover a style.
But Henry had a name, and it was Henry.
Read a ton of fiction writing.
What did Henry do?
I'm not sure.
I'm probably gonna change a lot in the coming
But
months.
Henry had a name.
Henry
And that
was
street,
unemployed.
was called.
He had been for some time, ever since the accident.
A lot of my stories, they start off really goofy like this, and then they
Well,
just completely
phlegm.
run out of goofiness.
It
by
wasn't
the end.
so much an accident
I'm not
as
sure
it
if that's
was.
Oh, it feels so different. I'm
Alright.
kind of trying to discover a style.
But Henry had a name, and it was Henry.
Read a ton of fiction.
A mistake.
What did Henry do? I'm probably gonna change
Big
a lot.
mistake.
Henry
Involving ketchup.
was unemployed.
Where's this gonna go?
For some time.
Who knows?
Ever since.
That is the fun thing. Sometimes I write myself into corners, but sometimes I discover
Well,
a story that I never would have thought of by just kind of like
so much
taking what my brain
accident.
shoots out
As it was.
and going with it. Try it sometime. It's fun.
But Henry had a name, and it was Henry.
It's a long story,
Big
but
mistake.
briefly,
Henry
involving ketchup. Henry, where's this gonna go?
For some time.
Who knows? How does that work? That is the fun thing. Sometimes I write myself into corners, but sometimes I discover
In his office,
a story that I
where
never would have
he
thought of by just kind of like
filled out
taking what my brain
papers and
shoots out,
typed
and
up
going with it.
forms
Try it sometime.
and signed stuff.
It's a long story,
Big
but
and
briefly,
decided to get a burger.
Henry, where's this
So,
gonna go? Who knows?
He
How does that
went
work? That is the fun thing.
downstairs
Sometimes I write
and
myself into
across
corners,
the
but sometimes I
street
discover
in his office
to
to
the
the
burger
burger
store.
store.
Should've gotten more. If you want chips, should've gotten chips at the burger store.
Typed up forms
Try it sometime.
and signed stuff.
It's a long story, but
Decided
So he went downstairs and across the street to the burger store.
So,
Who knows?
he went
This was
downstairs
his
usual
across
haunt
the
street
in his office
to the burger store.
Should've gotten more. If you want chips, should've gotten chips at the burger store.
He went there 2 or 3 times a week. And
So he went downstairs and across the street to the burger store.
while his doctor did not approve,
This was his
usual haunt.
tongue did. That's ooh, that's not well worded. Hopefully I'll come back to that.
3 times a week.
It's terrible. Oh well.
And
Well, his doctor did not approve. His tongue did.
so he went downstairs and across the street to the burger store.
He walked in the door and was greeted
This was his
by his second
tongue
favorite worker there,
That's
whose name was
ooh,
Freddy.
That's not well worded. Hopefully I'll come back
my
to
old
that.
dog's name. And he died.
It's terrible.
It was a miniature schnauzer. And he was very cute.
Well, his doctor did not approve. His tongue did.
Oh my goodness, my voice. Okay.
He walked.
Hey,
and
Hank,
was greeted
called Freddy.
by
He was the only
his
person who called Henry
second favorite
Hank. And
worker there.
Henry
That's
didn't
whose
like
name
it.
was
That's why Freddy
That's not well worded.
was his
Hopefully
second
I'll come back
my
to
old
that.
dog's name favorite. He died.
It's terrible.
It was a miniature schnauzer. And he was very cute.
Well, his doctor did not approve. His tongue. did.
Hey,
goodness, my voice.
Fred.
He walked.
Hey,
Said
Hank.
Greeted.
Henry.
Called Freddy.
Unbeknownst to him. Oh, let's actually change it to Fred.
Hank.
And Henry didn't like it.
He
He was the
Freddy.
only person who called
My old dog's name.
Fred Freddy.
very cute. Hey!
But Fred, not being a grumpy pants, found it charming. Henry, the usual?
Unbeknownst to him.
Asked Freddy.
Let's actually change it to Fred.
Do I stick with Freddy or do I go with Fred? I'll stick with Freddy. It's kind of from...
Only person.
It's pretty omniscient, but it's kind of from Henry's perspective.
Freddy.
Yep, said Henry.
Hey!
But he never...
Not being a
He'd be the kind of person
found it
who
charming.
had a usual.
The usual? Unbeknownst to him.
Asked Freddy.
Let's actually change it to Fred.
Do I stick with Freddy or do I go with Fred? I'll stick with Freddy. It's kind of from... My eye's twitching. It's pretty omniscient,
Like
but
that.
it's kind of from Henry. I always figured having a usual meant you had...
Yep. Said Henry.
Plateau. How the hell do you spell plateaued? He'd be the kind of person. E-A-U. Usual.
The usual?
E-D? Alright. How do you spell plateaued? Looking it up.
Do I stick with Freddy or do I go with Fred?
I'll stick with Freddy. It's kind of... My eye's twitching. It's pretty omniscient.
Like that.
P-L-A-T-E-A-U-E-D.
Usual
Meant you had... Oh.
Yep.
Plateau. Snipe shell. Usually meant you had plateaued and your life was boring.
E-D?
But here he was,
How do you spell
ordering
plateau?
the same double cheeseburger with P-L-A-T-E-A-U lettuce, tomato, and guacamole. Usually meant you had plateaued and your life was got. Yeah, this word processor, I use WPS, and it doesn't have spell check. I think maybe because I use the free version. But who needs it? Because I'm really smart. Alright. Lettuce. Tomato. Actually, I should probably... And guacamole. Is that thunder? Usually meant you had plateaued and your life was... Man, the quality's pooey. Yeah, this word processor. That's okay. I got the recording. It doesn't have spell check. I think maybe because I use the free version. But he always got. Who needs it? Because I'm really smart. All right. Lettuce. He stood there, silently as the food was prepared. Man, the quality's pooey. You come in. Yeah, this word processor. I got the recording. It doesn't have tried to get into small talk with him, but they quickly learned that he was neither interested in nor capable of small talk. So now, silence reigned. Soon, he had his burger and was heading out the door. But they quickly learned that he was neither interested as he left, however, nor capable of. We gotta get this ketchup in. Where's he getting the ketchup? Why didn't I include ketchup? It's okay. This one's will be better. Yeah, you gotta call out the ketchup specifically. As he left, however, another customer accosted him. A customer accosted. A customer accosted him. A customer accosted him. A customer accosted him. Gosh. As he left, however, we gotta get this ketchup in. Hey, where's he getting the ketchup? You didn't put ketchup on that, did you? This one will be better. No. Yeah, you gotta call out the ketchup specifically. Why? As he left, however, another customer, Henry, perplexed. A customer accosted. A
customer accosted him. A customer accosted
Good.
him. Customer accosted him.
Don't put ketchup on your burger. Why not?
We gotta get this ketchup in. Hey,
It ruins
you
a
didn't
burger.
put ketchup on that, did you?
This one's a little bit better.
No.
Yeah, you gotta call out the ketchup.
Why? No, it doesn't.
However, another customer.
Henry realized by now that this argument was a stupid one,
Good.
but the other guy was clearly
Ketchup
wrong and
your burger.
belligerent. Why not? A-N-T or E-N-T?
Hey,
It ruins
you
a
didn't put
burger.
ketchup on that, did you?
E-N-T. Okay.
No. Yeah, you gotta call out the ketchup. Why?
But the other guy was clearly.
doesn't.
Oops.
Another customer.
Henry realized by now that this argument, so he was
Stupid one. Good.
but
The
committed
other guy
now.
was clearly ketchup
Wrong and
your burger.
belligerent. Yes, it does. A-N-T or E-N-T?
Hey,
It ruins
you
a
didn't put
burger.
ketchup on that, did you?
E-N-T. Okay.
The other guy was clearly
No, it doesn't, and I'll prove it.
Henry realized by now
That this argument, so he was
stupid one. Good.
but Henry
The other
committed
guy
now.
was clearly ketchup
Wrong and
your burger.
belligerent. Yes, it does. A-N-T or E-N-T?
It ruins a burger.
Took his burger out of the bag, opened up the foil, and no, it doesn't, and I'll prove it.
Henry realized
This argument, so he was but Henry
the other
opened up the burger.
wrong and your belligerent.
Yes, it does. Freddie, could I have some ketchup, please? Took his burger out of the bag, opened up the foil. Sure thing, Hank, said Freddie, and Hank was too. I want to say incensed, but I'm not sure if I'm using that right. Let's look that up too. See, we're learning. Henry opened up the burger.
Yes.
Is that the word?
Freddie.
Yeah, it is. It's just spelled like
Could I have
incense.
some
Okay.
ketchup,
Took
please.
his burger
Out of the bag.
in
Opened
sense.
Up the
Sure
foil.
thing, Hank, said Freddie, with the asshole in the
Hank
fancy
was
suit. Nah, let's keep the swearing
I
out of
say
it.
incensed, but I'm
The
not sure if I'm
jerk
using that right. Let's
in the fancy
let's look that up
suit.
too.
See, we're learning to even notice the name this time. Hank took the bottle
Freddie.
of ketchup
It's just
from
spelled
Freddie
like
and
incense.
Okay.
Ketchup.
and started pouring.
In
He poured
sense.
more
Hank
ketchup than he'd ever poured before.
Nah,
That's-
let's keep the
it's a
swearing out of it.
sketchy semicolon, but let's go with it.
In
More
fancy
ketchup,
suit.
perhaps, than anyone had ever used before. That kind of sentence I always think of Stuart McLean. He would do. He poured more ketchup than he'd ever poured before. More ketchup, perhaps, than anyone had ever. I can't do an impression, but he loved that kind of repeating the same thing slightly, but a little. I'm wording it poorly, but you know that kind of sentence. It's a sketchy semicolon. I'm sick. Okay. More ketchup. Don't expect a lot from me. Than anyone had ever used before. Oh, time's really flying.
I always think of Stuart
Look at this.
McLean.
This is actually working really well. I'm
He would
focusing
do-
like crazy.
He poured
more ketchup than he'd ever poured before. More ketchup, perhaps, than anyone. And if you're thinking, no, you're not, you're getting distracted a lot. This is nothing. I love that kind of. I haven't played Binding of Isaac once. Repeating the same thing slightly, but a little. I'm wording it poorly, but frankly, that kind of sounds. It disgusted him a bit. Sick. Okay.
more ketchup.
But
Don't expect a lot from him.
the look on Suit Guy's face told him it
Time's really flying. I always think of Stuart
Look at this. This is
McLean.
actually
Him
working
far
really well.
more.
I'm focusing like
And-
crazy.
He poured more ketchup
oops.
than he'd ever poured before. More ketchup, perhaps, than anyone.
And if you're thinking, no, you're not, you're getting distracted a lot. This is nothing.
I love that kind of.
Forgot that. Haven't played Binding of Isaac once.
Repeating the same thing slightly, but a little.
Then,
I'm wording it poorly, but
frankly,
that kind of sounds.
It disgusted him a bit. Put the burger back together, looked the man dead in the eyes, and took a big, squishy bite. And oops. And if you're thinking, no, you're not, you're getting distracted. This is nothing. Forgot that. Haven't played Binding of Isaac once. Yeah, see, here's the problem, because it's got to be in ketchup. This is the thing I'm talking about, where I write myself into a bit of a corner, where it's got to involve ketchup. It's got to be kind of an accident, but not really. Back together. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. The man dead in the eyes. The man took a big, squishy bite to. To surprise, the man made to smack the burger out of his hands. It's got to be in ketchup. Henry managed to pull it away. It's got to be kind of an accident, but not really. Back together. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. However, the man took a big, squishy bite to. To surprise, the man made to smack the burger out of his hands. It's got to be in ketchup. When Freddy saw that, he asked the man to leave because violence, however, was not acceptable. This I will probably go back and word a little less robotically or a little more interestingly, because this is kind of just like a flat little bit. The man made to smack the burger out of his hands. Yeah, so I'll be like, change that. Yes, the man to leave because just as the man opened the door, was not acceptable. Freddy, I will probably go back and word a little less, made his robotically grievous error. Interestingly, because this is kind of just hey, buddy. He called in as his eyes clouded over with red to leave because just as the man opened the door. No, I should Freddy. I will probably go back and word a little less. Made his robotically grievous error. Interestingly, let's save that for a sec. Buddy. He called in as his eyes. Freddy could feel himself dissociating. This happened from time to time when I got into an argument, though it usually happened when. Save that for a sec. That was usually online, not in person. But he recognized the feeling and knew he was about to do something stupid. He also knew that there nothing he could do to stop himself. Though it usually happened. That's when he made his grievous error. Hey buddy, I called over with Red. The man turned and was hit in the face by knew he was about to do something stupid. He also knew that their ketchup grenade. I'll probably change that too. It's almost set like I feel like it's. I want to play on words in some way, but I don't know if ketchup grenade's the way to go. The man turned in the face with and was hit in the face by knew he was about to do something stupid. Dude, cried Freddy. Ketchup grenade. Was I always spelling it with IE, or did I start? It's almost set like I feel like it's. Okay, I want to play on words in some way, but I don't know if ketchup grenade's the way to go. What are you doing? The man turned in the face with and was hit. Get out of here.
not starting a food fight in my...
Dude!
Cried restaurant.
Was I always spelling it with IE, or did I start?
Henry wanted to say, to point out that it was not Freddy's restaurant, that he just worked
Get out of here.
there, but the cloud of red was fading,
Food fight.
and he was quickly realizing he was being restaurant. A giant
spelling it with IE.
dork. Henry wanted to say, to point out that it was not Freddy's. He was starting to realize that he was being a giant dork.
Get out of here.
There. So, tail between his legs, he scooped up his
He was being
now completely inedible burger
Henry wanted to
and left.
to point out that it was not Freddy's.
He was starting to realize
Did I even say he got hit?
that he was being a giant dork.
Oh yeah, I can't just stop there.
His legs, he scooped up his now completely
Maybe he wasn't hit.
inedible burger.
If he's hit, the man would try something for sure. Right?
He was starting to realize
Did I even say he got hit?
that he was being a giant dork.
Oh, yeah, I can't just stop there.
His legs,
Oh, okay. So now we can get into the bit I was. Oh, I gotta cheat. Maybe he wasn't hit.
inedible
All
burger.
right.
He's hit.
So here now we can
The man would
get into the bit that I had the idea about.
Hmm.
Oh, I can't just stop.
I won't start a whole new thing. Let's just continue from here.
Oh, okay. So now we can get into the bit I was. Oh, I gotta cheat.
Let's put down his pen.
All right. So here now we can
Whoa.
get into the bit that I had the idea.
He had written himself into a bit of a corner. Why had he started with such a specific...
Let's just continue from here. Oh, okay. So now we can get into the bit I was. Oh, I gotta cheat.
Let's put down his pen.
All right. So here now we can
Whoa.
get into the bit that I had the idea.
He had written himself
Um,
into a bit of a corner. Description. Why had he started... If
with
he'd
such a
just said
specific-
the bit about the
So now we can
ketchup,
get into the bit I was.
he could have
Oh, I gotta cheat.
written a pretty good
Put
interaction.
down his pen. So here now we can
Whoa.
get into the bit that I had the idea.
He had written himself
Into
into a bit of a corner. Instead, he
Description.
left in that whole
He started
accident,
He's
but
just
not really
specific.
the bit about the ketchup thing, which could have made the rest of the story become
pretty
terrible.
good
Interaction. Lance hadn't been writing for very long, and he was starting to wonder if he should be doing more outlining. He started doing that. He made detailed outlines when he first started. He found that by the time he finished the outline, he was bored by the story. Very long. Never really finished it.
I'm really concerned. I'm gonna see if my typing's way loud.
started doing that. He made detailed outlines when he first started.
Oh no, there's an echo.
Outline, he was bored. Been writing the story very long.
Why is there an echo?
Never really finished it.
I'm really concerned. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna test now. I feel like I've messed this up. Oh well. All right, I'm gonna stop here for now.